But I get a lot of inspiration by leaving America and considering my America from abroad and then coming back and trying to use that inspiration to do something good. Usually I just get a lot of hate mail. Get out of my country, you communist, spelled with a K. It's fine, it's fine. It just means you got someone's attention.
Talk about your interest in gay rights and same-sex marriages. What do you feel needs to change?
Well, my interest in it is that there are fellow Americans who are being denied their constitutional rights and their civil rights. Yeah. They are humans. And they are being denied their First, Fourth, and 14th Amendments at the very minimum. The right to express yourself, your right to privacy, and equal protection under the law. That would be the First, Fourth, and 14th, loosely. And so to me, there's no such thing as gay marriage. There's just marriage.
Right.
So there's some people who are still hung up on, well, that can't be a real marriage. Really? They're crazy enough to do the paperwork. I think it's a marriage. And I'm a heterosexual. So I've always played for the big team. I've never had to have my sexuality be challenged. It's never been the subject of examination or acrimony. No one's ever said, "What's up, straight guy?" I mean, there's no word you can put on that. "Oh, you like chicks? What's up with that?" Like, so I don't have any of that friction. I didn't have to hide myself from my parents because of my orientation. And I feel so bad for those who had to hold their breath. To be gay in Wyoming, that would be pretty heavy.
What do you think needs to change? And how?
Minds have to change because the paperwork's already been laid out. The Constitution's the Constitution. That's it. You can amend it.
So people are not following the rules.
Right. And so minds have to change. Water has to pass under the bridge. And in America, if you look at your history, we evolve. As the Constitution amends, we get more amendments. When I was a young boy in the 1960s, could Barack Obama have ever been my president? No way. America wasn't ready. And so now America, quite obviously, is ready. And so America's moving forward. I think you'd be fairly hard-pressed to find young people really having a strong vocal disagreement to marriage equality. I just can't see some 17-year-old like going, "No, that's it. I'm coming down hard on this point." It's guys like my father, who's like 80-something, and probably clutching his AR-15 in the weeds of Virginia somewhere, waiting for Sean Hannity to issue him his next directive. I have no idea what the guy gets up to.
Is that really like his style?
Yeah, he is just a real piece of work. He's also a PhD. He's very smart, but he and I have some radically different opinions on, I don't know, everything. But anyway, so it's going to be time, because I think this is somewhat a generational thing. Back in my day, those people, we all have our physiological limits. These people are literally passing away. And so in your lifetime, in the next 20 to 50 years, I think you'll see marriage equality across America.
The job of a citizen is to help another citizen of the Republic to free the potential of each person. That is a beautiful mandate. How do you do it? Well, it's just by being cool. But making that part of the preamble, like before you even get into the rest of the Constitution, you have to free the potential of each person. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's humanity standing on the balls of its feet.
Free word association. So I'm going to say a word or a topic, and you predict the future.
Ooh.
Okay?
Okay.
Immigration.
Logical solutions. We're going to have to come to the conclusion that due to everything from NAFTA to everything else, you have a lot of people not born and raised in America who are going to be coming into America. And they do serve a very vital purpose. And so instead of criminalizing these people, embrace it as a great part of the very idea and fabric of America, and going forward on that and making immigration a sane, rational, and thing where everyone has ID and they do pay their taxes. And so a lot of things will have to change, but you'll have it in this century because push has come to shove. Someone who would go across a desert that can kill you to get to another country, you want to be an American that bad? Because I've never had to lift my damn finger to be an American. I'm honored to share a country with you. I feel I'm lucky that you want to be on this thing with me in this great social experiment called democracy in this amazing nation. That's how I feel about it.
Wow. War.
We'll make it irrelevant in this century. We'll make it irrelevant. We'll make it a thing of the past. It'll be something in history books. They go, they did that? Yeah. Whew. Like it'll be right there where they used to burn people as witches, and they used to put leeches on their faces during the cold and flu season, and they had war. What were they thinking? Must have been something in the water.
Okay, next word is healthcare.
Well, healthcare for all. Hopefully we'll come to the conclusion that a lot of other countries have concluded, that humans are complex creatures, and when they get older, or if they get a rough hand from Mother Nature, a human life is a costly endeavor. And don't do humans on the cheap. Don't treat your fellow Americans like it's box wine with a 30% discount. These are people.
Yeah.
So as you regard yourself and your family, regard others. And so healthcare should be a human right. And I think in this century, it will be.
Drugs.
That's a very interesting question. I think smoking marijuana is a monumental waste of time. I also think it's not any more or any less harmful to the celebrant than tobacco or alcohol. Things like crystal methamphetamine, bath salts, PCP, and other things that can really do a body some great harm and do the people around the participant or the doer some great harm. So I think those things need to be really examined. It's a bit of scorched earth policy to legalize all of it. But on the other hand, this war on drugs, in my opinion, and this might be a bit much, it's not really a war on drugs as much as it's a war on a certain ethnicity and a certain demographic of America. If you look at the overwhelming degree of a certain demographic and gender that crowds American prisons, and mostly they're there on drug charges, it seems to me there's a bit of a fix in. And so when you eradicate this fake war on drugs, again, you'll have some more quality, because these people who are in the prisons aren't the only ones perpetrating. They're just the ones getting the more severe sentences for some reason. And so the war on drugs needs to end. And the only way to end it is the way, in my opinion, the Dutch ended it. You legalize. And I'm sure you've been to Holland. I've walked the streets of Amsterdam more times than I can remember.
Sure.
And where heroin is not exactly legal, but it's permitted. Hashish, it's there. I don't see people running down the road going, the republic is crumbling. And as I think as one of their politicians said, we're all bored of it. That's for the tourists. The tourists come for the hash. The rest of us, we get on with things.
Yeah.
And so I think all of those things will be met with indifference. Sadly, you'll have people abusing substances because that's what humans do. But I think the more you constrict the flow, I think you have more casualties from it.
U.S. government.
Government, I think America enjoys one of the greatest versions of democracy under the sun. I think America is very well served by the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments of the Constitution. And so you have all of the, as Lincoln said in 1838, all the materials for your future security and defense. So you have a transparent representative democracy. That's why I hold no contempt for American government. I just want to upgrade it and improve it. But I'm not one of those, here comes the tyranny. Oh, shush, there's going to be no tyranny. But we do need more representation, more accurate and acute representation, and more transparency. But I think by and large, you're very lucky with what you have. Can it use an upgrade? Sure. Can any system run by people use an upgrade? America would be the skinny Elvis for the rest of the world, because you'd have this country full of switched on, incredibly wonderful people.
Usually they look at us and, you're a musician, so what do you know?
Or you're a celebrity, I really think I'm onto something, and there's nothing new about it.
Come on.
And I'm not the only person who's ever said it by 10 miles.
Let's go. The cameras are rolling. I'm so interested in hearing this.
Well, education. And that is the way out.
Yes. That's
all you need.
That's it.
That's it.